So, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I wanted to congratulate you. You acquitted yourself splendidly with Olgierd. In fact, you've almost satisfied your debt.
Was
Does he know,
supposed to
though?
fulfill his 3 wishes. Did just that. This is where you remove the brand, 'cause we're even.
Nearly. To fulfill the terms of the contract to the letter, you must do one more thing. Draw Olgierd to the Temple of Lilvani.
That
We
wasn't
never
in the
discussed that.
Oh, but we did. As a man of the world, you should know that every contract contains a catch or two. Small
See?
print, which,
Bullshit.
nevertheless, changes the ultimate meaning of the pact. This applies to oral contracts as well. Recall that I said, and I quote, "I believe, however, that all will end well, and once it does, we 3 shall meet and thank one another for the voyage we shared." End quote.
Yeah, I remember.
Fulfill your end of the bargain, and I will remove the brand.
Bullshitter.
That was the last time you interrupted me while I was talking to someone.
What the devil? Why is there a fly in my soup? Was waiting. Had an eye out for you. Didn't see you come in. How is it you're here?
Old Witcher's trick. I concentrate real hard, and I can control time and space.
You tossed this fly in my soup?
No. Now listen carefully. Tell your Ataman to come to the Temple of Lilvani. It's south of here. Entrance is inside a cave.
What's the commotion?
Just now,
Lilvani's
huh?
temple, got it?
Aye, got it. Hold there! Your friend, the medic. She were here. Ask that you look in on her.
Thanks.
Shall do. Absolutely shall do. Optional talk to Shani. Of course we're gonna talk to Shani. What do you think I am?
He was. Maybe he
Okay, so she's pretty close. In her home? I thought it was in her, sort of clinic. Well, let's go there and, see what she has to say. Why she needs me. She's upstairs, isn't she? Yeah. No sick people today. Hey.
Shani,
Oh, Geralt. Good thing you're here.
what happened? Somebody break in?
This? No. Just getting ready to move.
What? When? Where to?
Not what I wanted to talk to you about. Or at least not only, but
She's making up her mind.
I'm leaving, Geralt. The Eastern Front beckons. I'm Kedwin bound.
Never mentioned you'd be moving. Any intention to either.
I didn't know I would be. Found out this morning. 2 soldiers came to my door, said Redania needs me again.
Couldn't turn him down? Just say no?
Perhaps I could have. But I didn't want to. Treating the ill and wounded, it's my calling. No place I'm needed more than at the front.
Can't you reconsider and stay?
Geralt, what for?
Let me
The
choose.
wedding, the time we spent together, it was nice.
It wasn't.
But you have your life and I have mine. This doesn't make sense long term.
It's not that.
You know that as well as I do.
Well, you take care of yourself.
You too, Geralt.
So, learn anything about Olgierd?
Well, I abandoned the books quickly. Decided that if I was going to learn the truth, I'd need to find someone who knows him.
Find anyone?
Turned out I didn't need to look far. A colleague at the Academy, an assistant to Professor Permathine Shakeslock, claims Olgierd von Everec met with the professor multiple times. Apparently, Olgierd asked the professor to do some research. Professor got so worked up doing it, he went daffy. Started jealously guarding his notes. Wouldn't even let his assistant look at them.
The professor, where'll I find him?
Here in Oxenfurt. Cloistered inside his house on Academy grounds. Mage hunters guard his door.
Really?
Mage hunters at the door. He under house arrest?
I can't say, really. Some of the faculty think him a traitor. Say he sold out to the hunters for a hefty pouch of gold. The assistant, on the other hand, insists the professor wants him there to protect him. I don't know what from.
What's your guess?
He's certainly useful to them. A specialist in black magic and the occult? Must be a trove of knowledge. If he's really gone off his nutter, I wouldn't be surprised to see them using him.
Hey, Black Shadow. Welcome to the stream, man. He knows who Odim is, right? I mean, Odim said that people who knew who he was either died or had met a fate worse than death.
Need to talk to this professor.
We'll go together. Redanian guards all over the academy. Doubt you'll get in alone.
Guards have never stopped me, you know that.
Wound these, and I'll have to patch them up. Besides, we might run into a friend. Get inside free and easy.
Oh. Free and Easy is my middle name. Let's go. Come on, Shiny. Move your legs about. Okay, so, nearby, huh?
So how are things at the academy these days?
You mean since Radovid shut it down?
I mean, is it well guarded?
Might be all it is. Many of the faculty fled to the far north. The braver ones stayed, but assumed the guises of tailors and laundresses. Why?
Just curious. Scholars seem to have adopted mage tactics. They in the same bind? So the Eastern Front, and then?
Depends where they send me.
Wherever it is, take care of yourself.
Always do. So don't worry.
Yeah, I was trying to get her to stay, not because I wanted to get you to keep going at it with her. It's because I feel that staying still is better for her to find what she was saying before, a life companion. Not because of me, but, well, apparently that was what the line was for. What it was written as.
Halt! By order of King Radovid, no one's allowed inside the academy.
Not even lecturers?
No one means no one.
See, you've become quite the stickler, Norbert. You were much kinder when I was patching you up. By the way, how's your knee?
Fine. Dandy. As if no arrow ever struck it.
Consider yourself a lucky man. Because if I'd not decided to operate, you'd be a cripple to the end of your days.
Bruno, eh? Maybe we ought to let her in. She's a decent lass. Not like to steal nothing.
All right. But alone, which will draw too much attention. I'd rather not get shite from the captain on his account.
Here's what we'll do. I'll go in
I
and
have
help you
signs.
sneak in around the back.
How?
Don't know, but I'll figure something out. Usually aren't nearly as many guards on the riverside.
Agreed.
All right, let me in.
Okay. I don't know why we couldn't sneak out around all the time, but like before, but whatever. Okay, so we need to go in here.
Geralt! Psst!
Oh,
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Grab the line!
Where'd you get the rope?
Long story. But we've done well. Professor Shakeslock's house is at the end of this street. Witch hunters guard the door. Doubt I'll be able to sweet-talk them.
Been a huge help already, Shani. Thanks.
It was nothing. Really. You'd have done the same for me. If you wish to see me again before I go, I'll be at home. Packing will take some time yet.
All right. Be seeing you.
I think I might have chosen the correct answer before, after all. But really, it wasn't my intention, but... Okay, so we have witch hunters. Let's kill them. Seems like...
Let's dance.
He says as he gets with each word he gets a hit. Okay, you're on fire now, sir. I hear that's really good for your skin. Okay, that guy on fire. Lovely. No, you're a degenerate. Have you seen your faces? You guys are the ugliest NPCs in the game. Man, you need to stop screaming. Okay. And they all have Demeritium shackles that I'll take. And they die. Okay, so let's go up here. This looks quite familiar. Huh.
Locked tight. Need another way in. You leave a window open, maybe?
And the first thing you do is knock on the door? That's right. Okay, so a window open. Looks like we have a passage up through here. Oh. This is all broken. Why? Why? Shit. Well, Geralt, you're gonna bring down the house on you. I hear things. Weird footsteps. This is gonna be bad. Let's not mess with the mirror. Let's first get whatever's around. Okay, maybe we... No. What is that? It's nothing. A broken thing. Pearls of the North, Novigrad. I think I read that before. So let's see if that is... Yeah, I think so. Okay.
Gillian Alboco's Lesser Key. Tomes about demons, dusty as they come.
Gillian, not Gillian. Gillian Alboco's Lesser... That's the painting right there. So we can... Yeah. Like this. Can look at the things. So where's the Lesser Key thing? Up here? Not really. Let me... Oh, there it is. Not that. Oh, actually, there it is. So, the essence of evil is to cause suffering. Actually sounds like a surprisingly accurate definition of evil. It's interesting. To cause suffering. But the purpose of wanting to cause suffering? Or is that... Well, it's less blurry of a definition than many other definitions. Let's go with that. There exist many varieties of suffering, from common corporeal pain through the rarefied torment of the psyche to deep wounds dealt to the soul. Whence then does evil arise? Does it appear on its own, or does it only spread when conditions are ripe? And finally, the most important question, how can evil be defeated? Most believe evil has always existed, for none remember a time when it did not. Yet is that sufficient proof? I dare to doubt it, for I am a scholar, and the essence of scholarship is to question whole hypotheses until they have been rigorously proven. The appearance of evil is closely tied to the existence of good. Its opposite and antithesis. Good without evil is dimensionless and therefore imperceptible. Evil, then, is an integral part of our lives. This is an interesting take on that. I like it. It's interesting. I still don't agree with his assessment. I mean, it's an interesting take. It's a little... there's a lot to say about good and evil. Let's keep reading this. Let's see what happens. Evil wears many faces and appears in many different forms. One of them wears the skin of flesh. This evil, incarnated as man, travels the world, sowing death and suffering. Such evil is devious and difficult to discern. We usually only note its presence when it is already too late. In my scholarly wanderings through the myths and legends of a great many cultures, I have come across a description of a certain individual which all display a striking similarity. I do not mean in terms of the individual's outer appearance or name, but of his modus operandi. This evil works through trickery, tempting at first with the offer of something seemingly good. The price one must pay for this object of temptation, however, is enormous and non-refundable, and the promised good often contains horrifying hooks and treacherous traps. Beware then of any who promise the impossible, for such can only be delivered through the machinations of evil. So this seems to be like more of a esoteric, I guess, is an esoteric musing on the nature of evil. I think I think, as with many things, evil and good is in the eye of the beholder, including the intent. Because the thing is, it's very easy to understand that somebody without evil intent, it can be accused of doing evil. And in that situation, you can say the evil is in the eye of those who accuse him, because he's not actually trying to be evil, even though those who are accusing him of being evil see that evil. So in that way, it's very easy for you to think, oh, it's in the eye of the beholder. That's just, that guy sees it as evil, so that's what evil is. It's a definition of something. But the thing is, even if my personal proposal here is, even if the guy who did the evil, even if he, let's call it evil for right now, even if he had the intent of causing suffering, and even if he had the intent of being evil, the definition of evil is still in the eye of the beholder and doesn't actually get affected by the fact that he actually wanted to be evil. Because in this case, in both cases, there are two beholders. The person from outside who saw his act as being evil, and the actual person that made his act. Whereas in the original example, the evil was only seen from the person outside, from the person who didn't commit the evil. In the second example, both of them saw it evil, but it's still the eye of the beholder, even if the beholder is you yourself who are committing the act. So, evil for me, I think, personally, and good is more a definition of something that happens than anything else. So, it's like a circle. A circle isn't a thing. It isn't a real thing. There are no geometric shapes in nature. I don't think there's even matter. It's all energy fields and all that stuff, like crazy stuff. But there's no circle. Like, let me see. I got, it's a little bit dirty, but yeah, it's a dirty coffee mug. You see this? You see a circle? Well, you're not actually seeing a circle. You're seeing photons coming at your eyes in the shape of whatever your screen is giving your eyes right now, and they're kind of forming a pattern in your head. A pattern in your head. It's a definition that your head creates. And you can identify that as a circle. If you didn't know about that definition, about that pattern, even, maybe, you wouldn't be able to tell that apart. So it's a pattern. It's something, it's a construct of our own mind to make sense of the world, that we say, this is a circle. Because otherwise, you would need to know every single point by hand to understand this cup. You would need to know that, okay, what comes after this? It comes this. Can you see it from there? Yeah. What comes after this? Comes this bit over here, and this bit, and this bit, and this bit. And for you to understand the complexity of this mug, it'd be really hard. And that's why the definition of evil and good is so important, especially in lesser developed cultures. It's so important because it is a very easy way for people to tell what is lawful and what isn't. That's the good thing about the definition of good and evil, I think, because it creates patterns. It creates separations in society, in the world, so that people can understand. I feel that as society evolved, that notion has become less and less relevant. And these days, I don't think it is necessary at all. It's more of a hindrance, in my opinion. Other questions like morality, which is still very closely related to evil and good, but not the same thing, or ethics, which is, again, a little bit less, and actually ethics is not at all related to evil and good. Ethics is more of the social construct of ethical principles that you must follow and abide to fit in a society, whereas morals is more of a personal compass for you to dictate your own actions. But yeah, that's the distinction between morals and ethics. It's another discussion. But I feel that as society has evolved, evil and good has taken a back step, because as constructs We don't need to care about that anymore. Because we have a better understanding of what laws are. We have a better understanding of why laws exist. It's, well, in general, as a society we do. It's not that everybody do, but... I feel that book that we read, and I'm sorry for this little bit of a rambling. I feel that book that we read is close to my perception of evil and good. It's my own perception, of course. But it doesn't actually come to that. It doesn't shed the pretense of them actually being real things, evil being a real thing and good being a real thing, and not constructs of society. So let's see what this is.
Silver Laman. Don't know the sigil. Hasn't been used in ages, looks like.
Huh. What about this thing?
Shattered mirror. No sign of impact. Probably not an accident. Shattered by a sound, maybe. Someone look in it and scream?
Why would you say that?
Franco? Is that you? Leave the bedpan in the usual spot. And take the platter. I shan't be eating today.
He's crazy,
Professor
isn't he?
Shakeslock.
Who the blazes?
His
Where'd
eyes!
you get in? Get out. I know nothing. Don't wish to know anything. Understand? No, no, no. Out!
Not gonna hurt you.
That demon sent you. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I figured, but I can't make sense of his eyes.
No one sent me.
You lie. I may be blind, but I sense unclean powers better than anyone. Why do you think the witch hunters guard me like a treasure?
I'm a witcher.
A mutant? Yeah. Could be.
He's gonna die, isn't he?
Why are there guards outside your door? You a prisoner?
Protective custody. That's the phrase. Protective. When I cannot decide my own fate, cannot breathe without their permission.
What do they want from you?
You may not be aware, but I'm one of the foremost experts on the occult. Living experts, that is. My mentor was the outstanding Professor Lionel Van...
And you're cooperating with the witch hunters now?
Cooperating? As if I had a choice. They're ignorant, but not enough to ignore what I know about magic, witches, sorceresses, what have you. Knowledge they use for barbaric ends. But that's beyond my control.
It's a reasonable assessment.
Came here because I need information. Think you might be the only man who
Don't
has
break
it.
the circle.
A witcher. Then it follows I needn't fear. I'm hardly a post-conjunction creature.
What did Olgierd von Everec want from you?
I curse the day I first set eyes upon the man. He appeared at my doorstep one day, offering a sack of gold were I only to find out who Gaunter O'Dim is and how to
And you
get
did.
rid of him. I agreed. Such matters are my speciality. And I needed the coin. I pored over countless tomes, delved into obscure incidents and analysed folk legends. I went so far as to travel to Nilfgaard, the library there, where at last I hit upon the mysterious entity's trail. There are records of encounters dating back thousands of years in many cultures, under many names, but always as evil incarnate. In this land we call him Gaunter O'Dim, at times Master Mirror, or the Man of Glass. In deciphering the ancient scrawlings, I went blind, yet I learned a great deal. For example, that he plays with his victims, and thrives on pacts above all else. Seemingly harmless contracts, which drive their parties to madness.
Know anything else about the man?
Gaunter O'Dim is no man. He is evil. Evil which assumes various forms. Forget about him, or die.
You're alive.
Alive. Yet I live in constant fear, born of what I've learned about him.
Yep.
What's with the surroundings?
He's gonna
These
die.
runes, what do they mean?
They protect me. Here, evil cannot touch me.
How do you know?
The ceiling
Told
can.
me himself. Paid me a visit once. Fascinating meeting that was. I was blind already, but saw him clearly. He smiled at me, said he was honoured I'd taken such an interest in him. He wished to thank me and explained he'd taken a similar interest in me. He drew the circle and said I'd be safe within it. His way of repaying me, you see.
Ever tried to leave it?
If you'd heard how he said it, you'd be as certain as I am what leaving would bring.
Well, we're gonna need to, otherwise the ceiling's gonna collapse.
Olgierd signed one of these pacts with him.
Brilliant deduction. But have you guessed why? You must know that he came from a wealthy, influential line. He must have, if the family of his betrothed accepted him.
Nope.
Yet did you know his fortune soured? He himself became an outcast, impoverished. Iris's family, a powerful house, could not accept this, would not marry their daughter to a nobody.
And then he signed the
Olgierd
contract.
wished to elope. The further away, the better. Yet Iris refused to cut her family ties.
Quite the predicament.
Indeed. Their luck turned yet darker when a wandering witch mentioned a solution. A man who would grant any wish.
Master
His
Mirror.
name, Master Mirror. The
Man of
rest
Glass.
follows naturally. Olgierd and Odim. A meeting at a crossroads. A wish. A pact signed in blood. And a price to be paid. Olgierd was to sacrifice one he loved. Odim delights in difficult choices. He knew Olgierd loved two in this world. His betrothed
And his brother.
Vladimir.
And that's why...
Olgierd chose, and soon thereafter married his beloved Iris.
Indeed.
His
I
fortune
figured.
restored.
I knew that. I figured it.
So did Olgierd kill his own brother?
No. Deduce, Witcher. Odim acts directly or indirectly. Olgierd merely signed the blood letter. The next day, his brother was dead.
It's the same thing. Who cares?
Olgierd tell you all that?
He had to. How else was I to diagnose his case?
Make it sound like an illness.
It is worse. Many illnesses are treatable, but play with evil, and medicine can be much harder to find.
It's not evil, it's just spellcasting and bald nastiness.
Why was Olgierd out to get rid of Odim? He'd gotten what he wanted.
Had he? His heart had turned cold as ice. His feelings for his wife, for whom he'd sacrificed his brother, had withered. He'd lost all he'd loved. Had he wanted any of this? No. Odim grants what you wish, not what you want. All who sign a pact learn the difference and die by it.
All? No way to get rid of him?
Kill him, you mean? Kill evil? No. Yet the annals tell of a man who dissolved his pact.
Are you gonna
by
quote
defeating Odim at
Lovecraft?
his own game.
Meaning?
We do have the book.
Odim wields contracts, word traps, duels of wits. Challenge him to such a duel. He'll agree, and can be beaten. But remember, there is only ever one stake. The sole thing he truly desires. Human souls.
I figured. But exactly what are human souls? That's something that I would like to know. I would like to see explained.
Odim left a mark on my face.
Yeah.
Any way to get it off?
A mark? No mention in the tomes. Strange.
No.
Unless it will disappear once your pact is fulfilled.
If I challenge him, end the pact that way, will it go away?
That I do not know. The one man who succeeded bore no mark.
Yeah, that must be referenced in the tomes, because somebody else said, because Von Everett said that he knew we were dealing with Odim because of the mark that we have, so he must have had the mark as well. He knew about the mark.
Thanks. Helped me a lot.
Good. Very good. Oh, to feel useful after so many years locked up, living in fear. Why, it's pleasance itself.
Of course. Huh.